to improve your overall strength, balance, posture, back and joint pain, flexibility, agility, that just make everything in our daily lives easier. So the first one is no hand chair stand. So I just want you to focus just throughout your day. Each time you get up out of a chair, whether it is your recliner, your kitchen chair, out of your car, off your bed in the morning, it doesn't matter. Just focus on using just your legs, no hands. And the other thing, while you're doing that, just once or twice, go back down and just do a modified mini squat over that chair. And when you do this, just incorporate it throughout your day. You're gonna notice a very rapid increase in your overall leg strength, posture, and agility, and it's great for back pain and knee pain. Number 2 is single leg balance. And you know that we're really big on single leg balance here during your sessions at OsteoStrong, but it's also something that you can easily do just through your day at home. Whether you are standing at the kitchen sink doing dishes, brushing your teeth, make sure to have that counter right there if you do lose your balance or get off a little bit. But also just throughout your day, maybe you stand up out of that chair using no hands, and the first step you take, you just lift both legs and try to balance. And then of course, trying to get dressed in the morning or putting your PJs on at night. And then you can also try kind of the 3-way 10-10-10 that we do here at the center, and that's one leg balancing, counting for 10 seconds, staring straight ahead, 10 seconds looking at the ceiling, and then 10 seconds with your eyes closed. And just make sure that you've got something to balance on, whether it's the back of your chair, counter in front of you, a doorway, whatever. But third thing that helps a great deal with posture and back and neck pain and headaches. And also, anytime we open up or improve our posture, we open up our chest cavity. So it can work really well for people who have breathing issues, whether it's asthma or COPD or a cold or whatever, but this is for posture. It's called the YWT exercise, or angel wings is another way that it's referenced quite a bit. But it is literally arms up in a Y position, standing up nice and straight. You bring elbows down into a W and out to the side like a T. So I'll do that from the side because we're wanting to be in really good posture. W, or Y, W, out to a T. And you really want to focus on bringing those shoulder blades together in the back as you're doing this exercise. It feels great. It's a nice stretch on the front, and it feels great in the back between the shoulder blades, and forces your neck to be back as well so that you're not in this posture. So, and again, once or twice a day, or each time you stand up out of that chair, do 2 mini squats, single leg balance, YWT. You can get your grandkids involved, do a little dance by it. If I did that with my kids, they'd be horrified, but hopefully your kids or grandkids think you're cooler than me. Fourth one, figure 4 stretch. And this was something I actually had my patients do a lot in the clinic, because I had so many people that really battled chronic lower back pain, hip pain, groin pain, and then sciatic pain. And this stretch is so simple and so easy that it is just remarkably effective. You just have to do it. So figure 4 stretch. You're gonna sit in a chair. Any chair will do. Kitchen chairs and folding chairs tend to work the best, but even your recliner will do. So we're always gonna do this on both sides. So no matter which side you have more issues with, you're always gonna give some love to both sides. So you're just gonna cross one leg over the other. You want that ankle bone right above the knee, kind of the kneecap. You're gonna sit up nice and straight, good posture. And if your leg is winging up or falls down, it doesn't matter. We're not gonna push the knee down. We're just gonna let that leg lay wherever it's comfortable. The more it wings up, the tighter this area is and the more it needs to be stretched. So if you feel a stretch through the lower back, the buttocks, or down the leg, just in this position, then this is as far as you're gonna go. The stretch, however, is while you're sitting up straight, you are literally just gonna lean straight forward. And you're gonna feel that really intensely down the leg and through the buttock and the lower back. You're gonna hold that for a gentle count of about 20 to 30 seconds, and then you're gonna be done on that side. You're always gonna swap and do the other side. And again, ankle bone right above the kneecap. If you need to use your hands to bring that leg up, that's okay. Wherever that leg wants to lay is where you're gonna let it go. Sit up nice and straight, and you're just gonna lean straight forward. That's the most important part about this stretch, because if you let yourself slouch while you're leaning forward, you're gonna completely eliminate the stretch. So you need to be sitting upright. This is as good as you can do it for when you first start. Perfect. You start where you're at, and then you just lean forward to increase the intensity of that stretch. The one caveat with this stretch is it works much, much, much better, and it's much more effective if you do that consistently throughout your day. So once an hour would be awesome. So again, you're gonna get up out of your recliner. Nope, we're gonna do our figure 4 stretch first. Then we're gonna stand up with no hands. We're gonna squat down a couple of times as soon as we stand up. We're gonna do that single leg stance. We're gonna do our YWT on our way. So you're gonna incorporate all 4 of them all in one swipe. It'll take you 1 or 2 minutes every time you get up out of that chair. However, with the figure 4 stretch, once an hour, like I said, is great, but 3 or 4 times a day will work. And an easy way to kind of incorporate that is to tie it in with your meal times. So every time you sit down for breakfast, lunch, supper, and maybe before you go to bed, take 1 to 2 minutes and do that stretch. It's relatively easy to overstretch or strain on those piriformis muscles and the sciatic nerve. So we don't want this stretch to be done where you do like 3 sets and you're trying to hold that stretch for 1 or 2 minutes. Small, frequent bouts throughout the day work the best. So give it a try, especially if you suffer from any of those things. Last one, hip flexor activation. So your hip flexors are, they're the muscles that are found right in the front of the hip joint, or commonly referred to as the groin muscles. But these guys are probably 90% of your core strength, and they're probably also some of the laziest muscles of the body. Only second to the glute muscles, but they're very difficult to activate. So if you are in a situation where you have a lot of chronic lower back pain, chances are these hip flexors have gotten very, very weak. Or if you're in a situation where you kind of walk a little bit hunched over, those hip flexors are probably very, very weak, and they're probably very, very tight. So this is actually the set of muscles that we always are trying to activate on the 3rd machine when you go through the spectrum circuit, the core machine. So when you sit on there and we ask you to kind of gently raise your legs while you're pulling down, it's because we want to activate these hip flexors. But something that you can do at home to start to wake those guys up, because they tend to be very lazy and very difficult to get them to actually work. While you're sitting, again, back to the sitting, so you can kind of see the theme here, all 5 of these exercises can be done anytime you're sitting during your day. You are literally, again, sitting up straight. If you would need to hold on underneath the chair, that's okay. You're just literally gonna lift one knee, hold it for 2 or 3 seconds, slow lift of the other knee, 2 or 3 seconds, slow lift, 2 or 3 seconds. If that is easy for you, start to try and hold that for a count of 5 or 10. And if that becomes very easy for you, you can do both legs at the same time. If you feel pain in your lower back when you're doing this, there's 2 reasons for that. First of all, you need to be sitting up straight. So if you're doing this from the side and you're slouching and you're trying to do this, it's gonna put a lot of pressure on that lower back. So make sure that you're sitting up nice and straight. The other reason that you may feel pressure or some discomfort in the lower back is if the tummy muscles aren't tucked. So if you feel pressure in the lower back, first thing, make sure you're sitting up nice and straight. Second thing, suck in your tummy. Tighten your tummy muscles and then do this exercise. It'll take that pressure off your lower back. So the other thing that I absolutely love to do, and that is really fun, is rebounding with the trampoline. You've seen this in the center. It's the black and red thing that we have out in the middle of that area. And just some gentle bouncing every once in a while. If you want to get a little more, if you want to do some jumping jacks on it. And of course, rebounders come with a stabilizing bar as well. But 1 or 2 minutes on a rebounder, just bouncing does amazing things for your energy level. It's a really good cardiovascular exercise. And there's also a little bit of osteogenic loading for the bone tissue. Not as significant, obviously, as your spectrum system, but there is some osteogenic loading that happens with a rebounding as well. So I hope this has been super helpful. I put together a printable of all 5 of these exercises with these instructions, and there's a link in the description below this video. So go ahead and check that out. You can print it, reference it at home, and there's also copies of that at the center. So if you're interested, ask your session coach at your next session for a copy to be able to take home with you. And again, I hope you found this information super helpful and you're ready to implement. We'll be holding you accountable each week when you come in for your sessions. So if you have any questions or you're struggling or something just doesn't feel right or you're just having a hard time, make sure and visit with your session coach. And also, if you know anyone else that might enjoy this video or benefit from some of this information, please share it with them. Go ahead and forward the video, give them the link, have them watch it with you. We'd love to get the word out and help as many people as we can. Thanks so much for watching.